welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the last installment of Little Mix the Search recaps. This morning was the last episode, the grand final. So, the finale as they like to call it, it's not football. So we're going to dive right on in, and I've got a notebook here with all my notes, so we are going to be doing just that. So before we start, if you haven't followed me on all my social medias, you can do that. They're all on the screen. And let's get started. All right, so we're starting with the semi-final episode. This episode is episode 8. So it opens with the girls performing Holiday and Touch. I skipped through that so I could do a separate reaction, and I believe that I'm putting this video up after I put those reactions out of the performances, so you can go check those out if you haven't already. So up first was Melodies to perform to open the show, as they like to call it. There's a little mentoring session via Zoom with Zara Larson, which is super awesome. She's such a great artist. I love Zara, so awesome. You can see that the girls from Melodies, not Girls Little Mix, the girls are really putting in the effort. They want to up their ante from their last performance, which they didn't really do too well. I mean, it was good, but they were in the bottom 2, so they're trying to up the ante. They're singing Ava Max, Kings and Queens. Love that. Oh, I can't on the phone. Great song. My thoughts while I was just writing down while I'm watching the performance. I said, enjoying this performance way more than last week. Dancing way more clean. Noticing their hard work. Then all of a sudden they throw in a bit of Rihanna, Where Have You Been? Stunning. I wrote, great dance break. What a growth from last week. Smashed it. Well done. That was my critique. You know, I was there sitting in the egg chair. That's what I would do. But, you know, not in Little Mix. That's not going to happen, is that? So now we get on to the critiques from Little Mix themselves. Lee said she got goosebumps. She's also said that hard work has paid off, which I definitely see as well. Jade said they came back fighting and she loved the dance break, which I mean, so did I. Jessie said she loved it and she loved the dance break, and Perry said everything they said. And she loved their harmonies as well, which I thought their harmonies were really, really good, like almost Little Mix level, you know? So the scoring, again, they can award up to 25% each. Lee awarded Melodies with 23%, Jade with 24%, Jessie 22%, and Perry 23%, giving them a score of 92%. And I just wrote here, great score. So that was that. Up next was the rap and R&B group Why Change. They said that they felt like the underdogs, which I feel like they've always been like the top. So yeah, Eden mentions that she felt like really left out and like didn't know where she fit in the group really, but I just wrote here she's my personal favorite in the group. They get a mentoring session from Steph London, I believe. I don't really know who that is, but I probably should, so I'm gonna look her up. Why Change mentioned in their little clips that their goal is to get all 4 girls up dancing. So let's see if they can do that. The performance starts, Eden and Romina are singing together, which I usually like Eden singing by herself. But when Romina came in, I was like, whoa, totally different vibe, and I stan. So I'm loving their pairings of like the girls and the boys like together pairing. I thought it was really, really cool. I wrote super strong performance, and just FYI, Romina's yellow liner, I just wrote love, because that, you know, I love, the first thing I look at is the makeup, like, oh. Then it came to the critiques. Jade said she's a Why Change stan. Jessie feels like they could join Little Mix on tour right now and like absolutely smash it. She gave some advice to Eden about like, don't give up on yourself. Like, she feels like Eden is the glue that holds that group together, which I love it. Because like, you know, when you have like a rap song and then there's that singer section in a song, that's the bit that everyone remembers, I feel like. And she said, don't doubt yourself. Perry said that she thought that they all brought it, which absolutely they did. Lee doesn't want the energy to drop. She wants them in the final. Such a massive compliment. So, you know, if your judge says that they want you in the final, like, hello, huge compliment. Now it's time to score them. Lee gave 23%, Jade gave 22%, Jessie 23%, and Perry 22%, giving them a score of 90%, putting them in second place on the leaderboard. Up next is New Priority. New Priority is the boy band, if you have forgotten. They get a mentoring session from Craig David, and they're working on their dancing skills. When they started their performance, I liked that chant at the start, New Priority, whatever they were on about at the time. I loved that. ZK's still pulling my eye in the positive way. He's just pulled my focus with like his swift moves. Like, them boys might be doing like a step touch, but he'll be like, I don't know, just cool, swift moves. I love it. I wrote vocals feel off, ? Jessie doesn't seem impressed. The way the girls are like kind of vibing and Jessie's just kind of like watching. So when Jessie gives her critique, I said, Jessie, I fully agree with her critiques. Last week she had mentioned like they wanted like learn from ZK. I think the boys took that critique as dancing like ZK, but Jessie actually meant stage presence, which is what I was just talking about when he just like pulls my eye in a cool way. So Jessie was like, too much dancing, that's not what I wanted. Perry says they don't need to dance, like they don't need to dance as much. Maybe like a few things to like bring it together, but like not choreographed dances. They're not a boy dance group, you know? Lee mentions movement here and there only, and Jade said she liked the vocals but still looking for that authenticity as a group, bringing something UK boy bands haven't seen before. Their scoring was Lee gave 20%, Jade 20%, Jessie 19%, and Perry 19%, giving them a score of 78 and third place on the leaderboard. Up next is Since September, which is the vocal and instrument group. Mentoring session with McFly, Harry fangirling or fanboying, you should say. Because, you know, if you mention all the way back into his first audition, he talked about how much he's obsessed with McFly, so I feel like this was just kind of like a special treat there for Harry. I wrote down great mentoring advice. They're singing Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. And I said, I love that they stepped away from the microphone stands and did some crowd work. Crowd work is like clapping. Crowd work is also this. They didn't do this, but this is also crowd work. Or, you know, lights up, lights down like Perry does sometimes. So that's crowd work. The Little Mix girls seemed to also like it. They were all standing and clapping, getting into it. And that high note, I wrote that high note like that, not gonna lie. Now up to the critiques. Perry said that they are so cool, she loves them, and she enjoyed how chilled the performance was. Lee thinks it was an effortless, thinks they are amazing. I fully agree. Jade says they feel like they have arrived in the competition and it was brilliant. Again, I agree. And Jessie says they feel like they were more free and she wants to hear Harry more. Their scores were Lee 22%, Jade 23%, Jessie 21%, and Perry 23%, giving them a score of 89% and putting them into third place on the leaderboard as of now. The host then announces that New Priority will absolutely be in the bottom two because it's only one band to perform. And the last group to perform is Nastalia. Maya is back. We didn't have Maya Louise last week, so Maya Louise is back this week, thank God. And the group's planning to go harder. Tomorrow got a personal call with Pez. As a group, they got a mentoring session with BB Rexa. Wow, big name to, you know, get some advice from. The girls mentioned that they weren't proud of their performance, which I think they should be. They should be proud of every performance they did, but they can pick on things that they can work on. Then they started performing. I said, kind of live for this silver styling moment. And then I just wrote, nice vocals, exclamation point. I said, girls are giving it this performance. It's killer. It blew me away. Incredible. That's my critiques there. Like, sometimes I will watch and I'll just write as I'm watching, but for some reason I was like, I haven't written anything. What am I writing? So yes, then it was time for the Little Mix critiques. Lee said she believes that they are in their own league. Huge compliment. Jade says that she thinks they were amazing. And then she says this, quote, I think when you enter the gates of heaven, you are met with Nastalia singing in 4-part harmony, end quote. I actually think it's Little Mix, but Nastalia were pretty darn good too, so. Jessie said they had faultless vocals, but her critique is they lacked a bit of conviction, but it picked up on the end. She wants them to elevate it next week. Perry said she can't get over how good they are, and she loved it. Their scorings were Lee 23%, Jade 25%, first one of the show. Jessie said 22%, and Perry said 25%, second one, giving them a score of 95% and shooting them up into first place. Woo! Yes! Then it's announced that it will be New Priority versus Since September in the bottom two sing-offs. And then McFly performs. Then New Priority is up first to sing. I wrote nice vocals, kind of wish this was their actual performance. Jade tearing up and Lee as well, Perry, question mark? Yeah, so I really did, like, when they were performing, I was like, I wish that this was their actual performance. It was way better. Anyway, Since September, they had a sweet performance. It was laid back. It was nice. Again, Jade, Lee, and Perry tearing up. Jessie, nah. She was like, I'm a rock. Not doing that. The girls have, after the performance, they have 30 seconds to decide who they're going to save. So then the host announces Little Mix. Who are you going to save to each girl? They give who they want to save personally. So to save, Lee said, as she cried, she said New Priority. That's the boy band. Jade said Since September, vocal and instrument group. Jessie said New Priority, that's the boy band. And Perry said Since September, that's the vocal and instrument group. So it was completely split vote. Then the girls had to decide between them one band to slate. They had to come up with a unanimous decision is the word, of who they're going to save. Perry said she wasn't backing down. She really wanted Since September to stay. Jade said she literally feels sick, that she can't do it. And like I said, Perry said she wants to fight till the end for Since September. The host picks Lee as the spokesperson. She did do the honors and said that they were going to save Since September. So New Priority sadly doesn't make it to the final next episode. My thoughts is they were both really, really strong in their fighting performances, but I do believe Since September were just a little bit better, and they like shown like a little bit more fight, like they really wanted it. So yeah, that was my thoughts. All right, we're on to the grand final episode. I'm in purple pen now, that's how I know it's another episode. So let's jump on in. Episode, here we go. This is the final. Watch out. It starts off with the girls singing Secret Love Song. No Jessie, but you know, health comes first. If she's not well enough, of course, take care of yourself before you go on a TV show and you have to host the EMAs or whatever. So of course, Jessie sending all the positive vibes to you at the moment. Host announces that the groups are performing 2 times each, so 2 different songs. First up is Why Change. They get a little in-person advice chat with Little Mix. It was a very strong performance I wrote here. That's all I wrote, because for some reason, some of these groups, I will, like I said just before, I will sit there and watch their entire performance and watch every little detail and forget that I have to write stuff. So that's what happened here. I just literally wrote strong performance and then Lee says. So yeah, I was enticed in, I was ready. Lee mentions every performance is like a Brit's performance. That is a huge compliment. Lee's out here with all the compliments in the whole world. The host also announces that the girls can award up to 100% this episode because their votes don't mean anything. It's all up to the public in the end. So that's what's happening. So Perry's at 95%, Lee said 95%, Jade said 94%, and Jessie's not there, so there's no vote from her. And it's only voting for fun, the viewers at the end. The public will decide. Up next is Since September. Little Mix can see their chemistry and relationship. They also get that in chat. That's where that happened. That sit together, let's talk about it, you know. My thoughts, I said way more laid back performance, and then I wrote jokes. Survivor starts. Really rocking out now. Another strong performance. Critiques. Lee said that they are stars. Jade says they seem ready for anything. Perry said that she really enjoyed their harmonies. Perry gave them 93%, Lee gave them 93%, and Jade gave them 94%. Up next is Melodies. Of course, more in-person mentoring. They start singing my favorite Demi Lovato song, which is Confident. I wrote great harmonies, energy is super high, dancing 100 out of 10, wow. Jade fangirls trying to learn their moves, and their scores were Perry 92, Lee 94, and Jade 93. Up next was Nastalia. They seem very hungry for the win. They want it really, really bad. They're singing it No Scrubs and Praise You. Great, like, mix of songs there. And I said another strong performance. Perry is very proud. Lee believes that they are very powerful. I fully agree. And Lee gets a little bit emotional talking about how her niece can just turn on the TV and see girls that look like her. I agree, it's amazing, so kudos to the girls for forming that band. Hello. Perry gave him a 96, Lee gave him a 95, and Jade gave him a 93. Now we're up to the second performances. We're just flying through this episode because there wasn't much like critiquing. It was just like, we love you, woo! So Why Change doing a ballad for their second song. The girls go back and look at Why Change's journey from like all the auditions through their first live performance to the first live show. Like then when the actual performance starts, it starts on the Romina playing the piano. Had no idea she could play the piano. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, awesome. And I just wrote Eden's outfit, 1,000,000 out of 10. Wow, voice incredible. I wrote here, I feel like this performance showcases Eden the most. The way she was projecting her voice and just, it was incredible. Like, yes, the rapping was great too. And Romina on the piano and singing and rapping, she had all going on, but I felt like it was just Eden's time to shine. It was amazing. Ashley and Verse, I just wrote strong rap, wow, blown away. Lee, emotional after the performance. She called them world class. Jade also was a bit emotional. She said it was her favorite performance on the whole show. Perry gave them a 100. Lee gave them 100. Jade gave them 100%, and I wrote deservedly so. Since September then performed their second song, mentioned that they're going to go big for this performance. Again, the Little Mix girls look upon their journey through the auditions and the picking the group, putting it together, first live shows, all that jazz. Bit of 1D, Drag Me Down / Old Town Road. What a weird mix up, but I kind of love it. Jacob and Harry always stand out for me. It's Harry with the stage presence and Jacob on the piano, just his vocals just are incredible. So those two always stand out for me in this group. I just wrote another strong performance. The girls are obsessed with it. Lee said best performance to date, and the scorings were Perry 100%, Lee 100%, Jade 100%, hundreds left and right here. Jeez, that's what I wrote. Next was Melodays. Perry, in their looking back on their time here at Little Mix The Search, she said that they're mini mix and they've shown the most growth. That's what Jade had mentioned. When they perform, they're performing Get Lucky from Daft Punk, and I just said it was a really different approach to the song, which I like because they made it their own. I loved the floor bit, I wrote. Perry said she liked it, they switched it up and thought it was beautiful. Lee said they keep getting better and better and it was beautiful. Jade said glitter, and I just wrote I relate. Perry said 93, Lee said 96, and Jade said 95%. Up next was Nastalia. They started singing Billie Eilish When the Party's Over, like when that started, like a biggest writing in the world. And then Diamonds. I was drawn in because Diamonds is sung by Rihanna, but it was written by Sia, like touching my heart here, you know? And again, this is one of the times where I was just like, so like I forgot to write stuff, so all of a sudden I just like, incredible, speechless. 100% from Perry, 100% from Lee, and Jade 100% as well. Then it was time to, like, the public had got to vote and the voting was open. If I was able to vote and I wasn't asleep and, you know, I was able to vote using a VPN or whatever, I wrote here, I'd vote Since September and or Nastalia, but they were all incredible, and no matter who won, I was going to support every group because I thought they were all incredible. So no matter who won, it didn't really matter to me because they were all incredible. Then Zara Larsson performs, and there's a little clip package of the journey of the entire show. That's what happens when they counting the votes, you know? I just wrote here, I feel like it's anyone's game. I can't really rank them. Like usually you can be like, oh, they're probably like the top two and they probably don't really have a chance. Doesn't have that in this show. They're all so strong and they could all take the crown, you know what I mean? But then it's announced that Since September are the winners and they'll be joining Little Mix on the Confetti Tour. Since September are the vocal and instrument band. And I started crying. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like water, there, you can't see it there, like where the little bubbles are. I was crying. So there's a tears on my book there. I was thoroughly impressed, and I really did like the vocal instrument group from the get-go, and I loved all of the groups, like I was just saying. So when it was announced, I was like, well deserved. So I feel like any of them could take the crown and I would have the exact same reaction. So I wish I was able to go to Confetti Tour because they're probably UK only because Corona. Anyway, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this series of the recaps of Little Mix The Search. Still something different than me sitting there doing a reaction the entire time, because, you know, it would have been a really long reaction and a lot of editing for me. So that is it. Anyway, if you are not following me on any of my social medias, they are on the screen right now and they're linked down below for your convenience. And if you're not subscribed, please hit that red subscribe button and turn my post notifications on if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.